From Montauk to Massapequa, Bayside to Bay Ridge, and all points in between. This is For Your Island, a show about the people and places of Long Island.
Hello and welcome to another edition of For Your Island. I'm Kristen McNally.
And I'm Melissa Rothschild. Thanks for joining us.
This time of year, there's nothing more gratifying than sharing your pastimes with friends and family. On today's show, we'll take a closer look at some of the many hobbies that Long Islanders enjoy, from restoring a vintage hot rod to acting in a Shakespearean play.
Havarim, the Hebrew word for friend, is a Holocaust survivor group located in Cedarhurst. While at first it may not appear to be a hobby, to this special group of people who belong, it is time well spent. FYI, experience the true meaning of Havarim.
The group is actually called Havarim, which means friends in Hebrew.
This program began approximately 11 years ago when we were running a Hanukkah party for older adults. It showed that there's a clear and distinct need to provide additional different services for Holocaust survivors.
When you come into the program, you're welcomed not just with a hello, but with a hug and a kiss. Some agencies are very fancy, they're very professional, very business-like. RY is in a refurbished house, and what that lends is a home-like atmosphere that people feel comfortable coming here. A lot of times the survivors will drop in just to say hello, but really what that is they want a counseling session, and we're very fortunate to be able to provide that kind of service.
I love to come here. I meet all my friends here. I know this lady for the last 50 years, and we get together. And that lady back there, I went to school with, so it's really a nice thing to do.
We run what's called a social day program, where people come once a week. It's run by a certified social worker.
My role here is to provide individual and group support, to provide home visits to the frail and homebound Holocaust survivor population, and to offer any other service or crisis intervention as needed.
The emphasis is on social. What we find with Holocaust survivors is that they tend to want to cluster together. You know, they have friends that have not been in the Holocaust, but they tend to relate better to people that have been through a similar kind of experience.
Trust, as you know, for an ordinary adolescent is very important, and for our survivors, many of them have a hard time trusting us, but through our nurturance and love and treating them with dignity and respect, they have turned to us many times.
One of the goals for the program was that people would form lasting relationships with each other.
I have learned so much from them, from the horrific past that they have had to endure to the people that they are today.
If I had to say one thing, I'd say that you could read about the program, I could tell you about it, but you can't imagine what it's like, because the air and the love that's there, it's immeasurable.
We add years to life and life to years.
The Holocaust survivors, you'll never meet people like them. They've been through hell and back, and so many of them have this energy and positive attitude that you don't know where they got it from, and you just have to admire them.
What an inspiration these people are, finding happiness out of such a tragedy.
It's a touching story, and the friendships and love formed at Havarim will last a lifetime. Now we shift gears and take a closer look at a different type of love, that shared by man and machine. The Cruise to the Light car show on Fire Island features rare and restored automobiles, as well as their contemporary proteges, all in a fun family environment. FYI, put the pedal to the metal and cruise to the light.
This event was planned by Rick Leonard, who's the son of the president of the Fire and Lighthouse Preservation Society. I'm on the board of the Lighthouse Preservation Society, and I've done 12 years of auto shows, and it was just a wonderful place to have an auto show. We're working with the Department of Parks, and the proceeds are going to go to the State Parks Department as well as the Lighthouse.
The people that come to these shows are from all different walks of life. You have businessmen, you have professionals, you have people that are in the auto industry, and you have a lot of spectators that just love to see the cars that America produced. The bond with cars is it's unique, especially with the American cars. At my age, I'm 55 years old, and I grew up with these cars. And it takes us back to yesteryear, you know? Maybe we're trying to recapture our youth.
This car is actually my daughter's choice. But in fact, now I have 5 Volkswagens. She's in Brooklyn and doesn't drive a car now, so I get to drive all of them. And it's a lot of fun. My favorite car here is a 76 beautiful triple white convertible right next to us.
Best thing about car shows like this would be the cross-section of the cars here. You have everything from 1920s to, 2002 Miatas. As you can see, the car has been customized to death. It's incredibly powerful, about 700 horsepower, 0 to 60 in about 4 seconds.
It's a very special bond that people have with their cars. Cars are like your family, it's such a cool hobby, and people I love this car. It is my baby, my favorite hobby. I basically come for the fun, not just for the trophies, so.
There's a certain bond that people have with their cars. I was always very attached to my cars. I had a 62 Corvette that I used to show, and I regret ever parting with it.
For me, it's almost therapeutic. It's a hobby, and it's also relaxation. When everything is going right and the car is tuned up the right way and it looks good, it really gives you a certain degree of personal pride.
Why do you like coming to car shows?
Because they're so beautiful.
This was our first show, feeling the reaction of the people here today. We're certainly going to be back next year, and it's going to be a much bigger show.
Wow, who knew there were so many classic cars on Long Island?
And did you see that Shelby Cobra? The effort these people put into maintaining their cars shows the passion they have for this hobby. And from passionate collectors to passionate actors, located in Farmingdale, Arena Players gives people the opportunity to perform works of art on stage. FYI, raise the curtain and enjoy the show.
'52nd anniversary season. We would like to take a moment to thank our subscribers for their continued support, and a very special welcome to those of you who are first-time members of the Arena audience. Here it is.
Arena Players started back in 1950 in the town of Clearton. And ever since then, wherever I've gone, it's gone with me. Arena acting requires a different approach than proscenium acting. In proscenium acting, you can just sit here and people watch you because you're facing people and so on. But in arena, you can't do this for as I'm doing it now. I can't just talk to one section of the audience. So you constantly have to have movement, and the player has to be in focus constantly, and you have to motivate the characters to change and move depending on the nature of their business or the character. I prefer arena theater as opposed to proscenium stage, primarily because it's more realistic. There's more of a sense of involvement with the audience. And it's also more challenging to the director and the actor to even be able to act with his back and act with a gesture, so that you need this kind of movement because you're constantly in the round. We have an ensemble company of, say, about 15 to 20 people who, over the years, have learned to work together, work very well. That's why you get more of an ensemble type of playing. We don't encourage prima donnas. We don't have any stars in a company. We don't believe in that. We believe everybody works together to make a moment, a theatrical moment.
Ensemble is probably the most important thing in theater. You'll be playing with different people and you get used to their rhythms, their patterns, their style, their intonations, so that you learn to breathe together. And that's the gift of having a repertory company.
I think the audience here senses that there's something special about the people here. They believe us because they know us so well. And I think that's one of the great things about repertory theater, is that there's this incredible feeling that comes from the people on stage that's generated to the people that watch the show. And a lot of it has to do with the relationship that we have with the other actors on stage that make it so believable. And it's truly an ensemble.
Since we've grown, we have a children's theater company. A lot of the kids we get from our acting classes, because we see them working there and they come into the program. We believe that children doing children's theater is more realistic. We also have a lot of audience participation, where the kids interact and react to the play that's going on.
I love the proximity to the audience. I love the arena style of acting. The audience is truly part of the play, always. You can feel them, you can feel their energy and adjust your performance, because that's the joy of live theater.
I can't describe what it's like to be on stage and you can feel them feel you. And when it's all over and you see their faces, it's the best thing in the whole world.
The most important thing is that you do in the theater. In all my years, the doing is the thing, where you've got to actively involve yourself if you want to get anything out of life, anything out of a part, anything out of a production. And the more you involve yourself in your focus, in your dreams, in your ideals, the more effective you're going to be in your own personal life.
Oh, Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou, Romeo? What do you think, Kristen? Should I join the arena players?
Well, Melissa, we all know that you love acting. One of my hobbies has always been going to amusement parks. One of my favorites, Adventureland, opens its doors once a year only to high school students interested in learning more about physics. FYI, coasted over to Physics Day at Adventureland.
Adventureland Physics Day started in 1989. It was originated to bring the entire school, their physics classes, to an amusement park to do mechanics labs. The place is for students to have fun, not just to take the book learning that is done in the classroom and now put it to real use. How do engineers use physics? How do you engineer the rides? What data can you get from the rides? We try to bring real physics to the classroom.
The topics that we cover in class are the topics that they deal with here. Things that move, they can't always relate to unless they can actually experience it themselves. For instance, this device, which the kids take with them on the rides, has a fishing weight in it, and when this is accelerating upwards, the weight goes down so they can measure 1G, 2Gs, or 3Gs of acceleration.
When you spin, right, it goes down another level, so you can see the force of gravity that's exerted by when you make the move.
They can calculate the heights of these rides. They can calculate the radius of the rides. They can even do the period, how long it takes for one revolution to go around.
We love physics and we love our teachers here, and we have a chance to hang out with them and get to know them a little bit better and get to know the real part of them and not just the teacher side.
It's a good way to learn
physics while not being in the classroom, just getting like lectured and like taking tests and stuff. At school, they can just write things on the chalkboard, formulas and stuff, but here we're actually doing it, or learning it, or being physics. And like you see the angle, and then you get the angle with the string and the weight.
And you use it at like the top, like the angles. Yeah, find acceleration.
The goal, hopefully, is to get more high schools involved, where they're taking their students to experience physics, not just to sit in the classroom and look at the equations and bookwork. We are trying to get the teachers involved, to get their students involved and experience physics.
Wow, Melissa, I don't remember physics class being that fun.
Well, Kristen, we've got a lot more fun in store. We'll take a dive into the waters surrounding Long Island and show you that a woman's place is in the ring. All when FYI returns.
The Big Duck, considered by many as Long Island's most famous landmark. Although modeled after a giant Peking duck, the structural term duck denotes any building shaped like the goods it sells. Instead of relying on signage, a duck is supposed to attract attention for its shape. In this case, selling duck-related objects. Quack, quack, quack.
Every week we return all our cans and bottles. Yeah, we hope to reduce the world's waste.
But aluminum? It's like gold.
Uh-huh. There's a can.
Where?
Get it.
Environmental defense. Get green. For more tips, go to getgreen.com.
During this holiday season, the cast and crew of FYI would like to take this opportunity to wish everyone a joyous Ramadan.
Happy Ramadan from Warrior Island.
Introducing the all-new Enclave. It's a minivan to the max, with features like remote control sliding rear doors, 150 cable channels, a full sky view roof, temperature-controlled cup holders, and the 6-point navigation system. It's the minivan for families on the go.
Welcome back. I hope you didn't forget your snorkel and flippers, because our next story takes you far beneath the ocean waves. With a little courage and a lot of help from Dogfish Scuba, Long Islanders can explore this underwater world. FYI took the plunge and swam with the fishes.
Right here at the dive shop, I am owner, operator. I teach scuba. I've been a open water scuba instructor for 17 years. I formerly worked at Divers Way in Bay Shore for 17 years before opening up Dogfish Scuba in Riverhead. We sell equipment, we service gear, we fill tanks, and we also do scuba training. Scuba diving on Long Island has a certain adventure aspect to it. We have a lot of local history. Long Island has been involved in maritime trade for hundreds of years. Unlike areas like Florida, the Caribbean, where they actually sink wrecks for divers to visit, most of the wrecks that we visit here are actually caused by natural disasters, either collision, storms running aground. So the amount of history that's on these wrecks is phenomenal. We probably have several 100,000 certified divers on Long Island, and probably about 10%, or maybe less than 10%, maybe 2,000 of them actively dive around Long Island. I see a pretty good variety of people, ranging from young kids. I train a lot of young kids, to older people who are retired, want to just do something for themselves, do something exciting that maybe they never felt they could do. A lot of people like diving because it kind of takes them out of their everyday life and puts them in a very tranquil, serene environment. Some people like looking at the different fish and aquatic animals. Other people like the adventure of wreck diving, the possibility of finding sunken treasure. There's a lot of different things that draw people to diving in general.
I did my first dive when I was 11 years old, so that makes that around the turn of the century. I dive, probably average once or twice a week throughout the whole year, more so in the summertime. Be cautious, you study, go with people that are knowledgeable, and stay within your limits, and you don't have to prove anything to anybody. You don't have to prove you can go deeper or longer or harder.
I had no idea there was so much to explore underneath the waters of Long Island, but it was a little too cold to go swimming.
Well, Kristen, while it may be cold, you can still enjoy aquatic activities. Just head on over to the Cold Spring Harbor Whaling Museum. There, you can learn about shipbuilding and the historical impact the industry had in Old Long Island. FYI, set sail for Cold Spring Harbor.
A lot of the buildings in this town were built to accommodate whaling, and we celebrate the past of this town and show it what a vibrant future it has. My name is Jill Wright, and I'm the curator at the Cold Spring Harbor Whaling Museum. Between 1836 and 1858, Cold Spring Harbor sent out 9 whalers through the interest of a few venture capitalists, the Jones brothers, the Cold Spring Harbor Whaling Museum. It celebrates our maritime past, and it celebrates the history of this town.
Down Paradise Street to me way, hey, blow the man down, a handsome young damsel I chance for to meet. Give me some time to blow the man down. She was rounding the counter and bluffing the bow to my way, hey, blow.
What does it do for the whale?
We have a number of school groups come through our museum, and they really seem to enjoy it. There's our new exhibit, Inside and Out, Crafting the American Whale Ship, which is all about how whale ships were put together.
Yes, right, and then until we get seasick.
We teach them about conservation, we teach them about wildlife, and we teach them why it's important to protect whales and the ocean. Mr. Guy DeMarco, he has been kind enough to grace us at the museum with wonderful demonstrations on creating ships and bottles.
Once upon a time on the high seas. It's something that is bringing our past into our own present. So it's a challenge to me. How much can I get through that neck of that bottle after all? Can this thing really go up and have 20 sails? Can I put 4 or 5 pieces in and confuse people to say, how does something that big get through a neck of the bottle that small? And what I'm doing now is I've taken this, I guess myself and many others now, because we have all the tools at our disposal, we've taken the art form forward to a level that these guys never could have done. But I still marvel at the way they did it.
Well, me father often told me when I was just a lad, a sailor's life was very hard, the food was always bad. But now I joined the Navy, I'm aboard a man of war, and now I found the sailor ain't the sailor anymore. Don't haul on the rope, don't climb up the mast. If you see a sailing ship, it might be your last. Just get your
maritime history has always been very important to me, and this is such an interesting place with such a rich past, and from everything I've seen, such a vibrant future.
Kristen, I've always been amazed when they fit those huge ships in those itty-wee little bottles.
I'm just amazed they can fit all that talent into one man. Now we move from whales to wildcats. The Long Island Academy of Boxing for Women is located in Huntington Station, New York. It is also the home of Kathy the Wildcat Collins. FYI stepped into the ring to face this 4-time champ.
My name is Frankie G. The G stands for Globuschutz. I am the president of the International Women's Boxing Federation. We started the IWBF approximately 1991. We are the only and foremost sanctioning body for women's boxing. I also am the owner of the Academy of Boxing for Women in Huntington Station, New York. It's in New York Avenue in Huntington, New York. I think the reasons why we're based on Long Island and do our boxing program out of Long Island is, number one, Long Island is a great place to be part of. It's outside of Manhattan, yet it is very, very close to Manhattan to do business. There's no place like doing business, especially boxing, in the world other than New York or Las Vegas.
My name is Kathy the Wildcat Collins, and I'm a four-time Women's World Boxing Champion in the junior welterweight division. I started boxing in May of 1994. I was 240 pounds and a size 26, and I wanted to start to lose weight. I needed to do something for myself, to feel better about myself, and boxing looked to me like it was going to be a lot of fun. The first time I hit that bag, just that feeling, it was terrific. I didn't know that I wanted to compete yet, but I wanted to get better. So I came to the Academy of Boxing for Women in Huntington, and that's how I started.
We started being able to get women just here in this gym alone turn professional and do boxing at the amateur level. We had I think it was 6 women who won the New York City Golden Gloves at one time, which was enormous to come out of any gym. And at that point, we turned Kathy Collins professional, and Kathy turned out to be one of the top women the world has ever seen in boxing.
I decided to compete after I'd lost 100 pounds. I'd been training in the gym 9 months, so I decided to give it a shot because I knew I was doing well in my gym against the girls that were here. I wanted to see what I could do on a bigger scale. The first time I fought at Madison Square Garden, I fought the finals of the Golden Gloves there, where I lost the decision. In my 4th pro fight, I won 5 out of 6 rounds, and that fight set me up as the heir apparent to Christy Martin. Christy Martin is known as a quote-unquote cover girl for boxing. For years, Christy and I just kind of ran parallel to each other, promoting this fight that ultimately would be May of 2001 in Madison Square Garden. It was absolutely amazing. It was an amazing thing. It was amazing for me, and it was amazing for women's boxing. It was the highest payday for women in the sport of boxing. We split $500,000, so it was nice. It was nice. For people that don't like women's boxing or don't think that women should box, don't watch. And for those of you that do, keep watching, keep enjoying it, keep showing up, keep turning out, and we'll keep going.
Kathy really looks tough. I bet you she throws a mean punch.
I definitely do not want to have to find out. Well, that's our show for today. Thanks for joining us. FYI would like to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving.
And a healthy and safe Ramadan. We now leave you with the sights and sounds of the die-hard golf fans who took advantage of the Indian summer on Beth Page's Black Course, the site of the 2002 U.S. Open. Thanks for watching.
This has been an HTV Entertainment presentation.